Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That's Amin Elhassan. We're in the same place. We're New York City, and it is time.
I'm just trying to get another shot.
But you just looked silly. It is time for our favorite day of the week, Trivia Tuesday. At least my favorite day of the week. I just get to sit here and ask questions that our wonderful producers came up with. Amin, you tied Claire DeLune last week. Do you think you can get a win?
Who's my opponent?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I'm thrilled to introduce our opponent. It's senior NBA writer for Yahoo Sports and host at SiriusXM NBA Radio, Vince Goodwill. Oh, Vinny, welcome.
Lock it in. Lock in the dub.
Yeah, lock it in. Yeah, lock in his win. Trust me, he's going to win. Don't you worry.
That's famous last Amin Elhassan words. Vinny, the way this works, it's very simple. You're going to hear that sort of Wii theme park music. Yeah. And we have up to 6 different questions for each of you. Whoever gets the most correct is the winner. It's pretty standard trivia stuff. In the event of a tie, I will try very quickly to think of a subjective tiebreaker, and I may or may not be successful. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Vinny's like, Jesus. Okay. The first question is for you, Mr. Goodwill. Zach LaVine's 4 threes on Friday against the Celtics gave him the record for the most made threes in Chicago Bulls history.
Really?
Who held the record prior to LaVine?
Wow.
I know, a real question here. You know, the harder the question, Vinny, the more we respect you.
I think I know. I think I know the answer.
I think, I want to say, the obvious answer is 23, but I don't think it's him.
You're encouraged to think out loud. Tell us what's going on.
I don't think it's Jordan, because that's very obvious. I feel like it's going to be someone goofy like Kirk Heinrich or something.
Dude, that's not. I don't think that's the answer, but that was the first answer.
Play the music.
Oh, it's
play the music.
It is Kirk Heinrich. That was the first name I thought of, but then I was like, I don't think he's shot enough.
That was amazing. Heinrich had 1,049 threes in 748 games with Chicago. LaVine hit 1,050 in 392 games.
I was going to say Steve Kerr.
Oh.
That was
he wasn't going to have the volume. He was only there for 4 years.
Yeah. Narratively, though, that would certainly have fit nicely. Vinny, LaVine's trade value tanked in the offseason, and the Bulls couldn't give him away. Do you think he could make a difference for a contender this season? I know they were like, oh, LaVine to the Lakers. What's your take on this?
I think we reach a point in the NBA season or during the NBA discussion and discourse where it's really toxic and stupid and reductive. But we talk about players like their contracts. And we don't talk about players as players. We kind of forget just because they make a lot of money doesn't mean that they're trash, even though they make a lot of money because they're supposed to be good. I think if Zach LaVine is your best player, you're probably not going to be that great. If he's your third best player, you are cooking with something because usually your third best player, you don't need him to show up every single night. Not that he's gravy, but there's less dependency on him. Now you're going to say the max salary and everything else. And I think the restrictive nature of the CBA is the thing that is tough. But let me just throw this out there. Let's say he's on the Denver Nuggets. Let's say you just put him on the Denver Nuggets, right? I don't know who you would necessarily take off, but he would be at worst your third best player, right? You mean to tell me he wouldn't make the Denver Nuggets better with playing off of Nikola Jokic, playing off of, Aaron Gordon, having some of those guys there cover his deficiencies. So I think it's about situation. There's winning teams that I can see him making a difference for. It's just a matter of how does he fit cap wise.
We sort of saw it with Klay when Klay Thompson went to the Mavs and he could be the third best player. It was a very different story than expecting him to be the second. All right, we're going to move on to Amin's first question here. Of the top 3 picks in the 2019 draft, Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and RJ Barrett, who has scored the most total points in their pro career?
I know this one.
Why?
Because
why do you know that?
My cousin is a stupid ass Knicks fan.
Oh.
And he does this thing where it's if you played for the Knicks and he makes a strong statement about you early on, even as you move on to other places.
Yeah.
he still holds on. Like, so he still thinks Frank Ntilikina is actually pretty good.
Oh, stop.
And yes, he's like, Frank, you guys don't give him enough credit
proof?
for his. Yes, this is proof, cousin proof.
Once a Nick.
It's RJ. He takes that once a Nick too seriously. RJ Barrett.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, because he went into this long diatribe the other day about how RJ Barrett's career is better than Zion Williamson's, and I'm like,
I see.
No, but not like he's had a better career because he's played more or whatever. His thing was RJ Barrett's been better because he helped the team win a playoff series and Zion hasn't, and I'm like, it's because he's hurt, man. Like, that's not because let's be real. If Zion had been on the Knicks, they would have won that series too. It's not like RJ Barrett was the reason they beat the Cavs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this question, I'm going to flip it to Vince now. RJ has had a career renaissance since he returned to Canada, his homeland, including 37 points to beat the Kings this weekend. Who would you rather have on your team, RJ or Zion?
Oh, man, is this a question? I think number one is at least dependability and reliability. I don't know if Zion will ever get back to the point of him being the player we thought he was as a rookie. When we thought he was fat as a rookie, right? Not to be funny about it, we're a fat phobic society. We thought he was fat as a rookie. That man looks like chiseled on his rookie panini pick, the panini bread, that photo shoot. He looks chiseled compared to right now. Are you serious?
Yeah,
so I think the question is, the answer is easy, right?
The funny thing is, because you said on his Panini, you're talking about the trading card, but somewhere in the world, Zion's like, someone say Panini?
Oh my God. I thought we got past this.
Dude, we were until that too.
All right. Question number 2 for Vinny. James Harden became the second player ever to make 3,000 3-pointers in their career, only trailing Steph Curry. Harden currently sits at 3,004 made threes, while Curry is at 3,810, a difference of 806 makes. Which of these two has missed the most threes? Harden or Steph Curry?
I'll still say Harden.
Yeah. Yes, Harden has missed 5,263 threes. Curry has missed 5,140. How long do you think Steph Curry's 3-point record is going to stand?
4.
Ever. Forever. Okay. All right. Okay.
Never to be broken. No, put it like this. For one, if we're smart as a league, and I say we as in everybody, we changed something about this whole 3-point heavy thing where we get rid of the corner 3, we move the line back or something like that. There should not be a world where I'm just going to throw a name out there and it's just no shade to the guy. It's going to feel like it's shade, but it's not. There should be no world where, Trae Young has got a good chance of breaking Steph Curry's 3-point record, or Jason Tatum has got a good chance of breaking Steph Curry's 3-point record. They're not in the same class of shooter. At least one thing about Steph Curry, he's the greatest shooter of all time. We just going to have a dude at the top of the 3-point list with the way that this league is going. He's going to be a guy.
It is crazy in a sport where we literally argue every single thing that it never ceases to amaze me. The one thing we don't argue is who's the best shooter of all time? Oh, Steph Curry.
Right.
No, there is no conversation.
Right.
And to hear old people, young people, retired players, current players, everyone just be like, oh yeah, it's him.
Right.
That is a cool thing to be unequivocally the undisputed champion of something is pretty. And
it didn't take long. It didn't take for him to break the record for people to start saying that. We were saying it about him by 2014.
Yeah.
This is almost not a numbers situation, so nobody should be able to get to that number just so the numbers also back it up.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Amin, your second question. Russell Westbrook was fined $35,000 for making an, quote, obscene gesture during the Nuggets' loss to the Knicks on November 25th. What was that obscene gesture?
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know. I did not even know about the incident. I know the Knicks blew them out by a lot. That was a game where Michael Malone, after the game, said, you can't flush that. You got to just let it sit in the toilet bowl when you take
it's
that.
It's poetry.
Yeah, no, it rhymes. I'm gonna say, look, I'm gonna play it 35K. He threw up the bird. He gave him middle finger.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He flipped off the Knicks bench after he made a 3 in the fourth quarter, which is like, my dude.
I do enjoy that, right? The we're getting blown out, but like, hey, like.
But hey, I still got it.
Hey, Jericho Sims. Hey, I got something for you here.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, here's a question for both of you. Do you think they would have fined him more or less if he had done the slow Jack in the Box reveal?
But then also try to put it down. Like, it won't go down.
Or what about this one? What about this one? Are you blowing your thumb and it pops up?
You know my favorite. My favorite is like, oh, I heard. Oh,
you look in your pocket.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's
seriously, more or less for making jokes about it.
Less. You think more?
I think more.
Man, they barely find people, man.
Because you're making it because it implies intent. In the league, it gets on you about flagrant ones and flagrant twos intention as opposed to like knee-jerk reactions.
What do you think the Nuggets have benefited from with Russ this season, Vinny? Amin and I have talked about this.
Somebody who gives a damn. Like I'm not being funny or mean about it.
Yeah.
But like Jamal Murray, some days he shows up, some days he doesn't. And people can applaud the honesty and say, hey, some guy stayed in LA after the game. Like, but it feels like the one thing with Russell Westbrook is he's going to push the guys around him because he just wants it really bad. Now, he's also the loyal dog who will shit on your couch. But he's the loyal dog who's going to be loyal to you forever. It's a double-edged sword. So I do think the more he plays, the more you get from him. It's just when it's diminishing returns in that in-between space, you got to make a decision on how much you're going to let him damage and hurt you. But when he's got it going, like he gives them a different gear that they don't have.
Yeah. Totally.
I'll never forget. There's an NBA on NBC intro from way back in the day. It was Rockets Suns Game 7. And this is the one where the Rockets were like the 6th seed and they came back to force a Game 7. And in the intro, they're like the Charles Barkley's looking for his first championship. And then like on the other side, the Rockets won the championship last year, but the banner in the summit does not hang for Clyde Drexler. And I've never forgotten that line. The banner in the summit does not hang for Clyde Drexler. And there's a whole thing about like Clyde Drexler didn't have a championship, so it was so important for him. And the Rockets kind of credit that acquisition, not him just being a great player, but also it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of us where we were kind of like, yeah, we won. All right, we're cool.
Right.
But Clyde comes in like, I need one. I didn't get one. Like, so I think Russ in the same way. He walks into that locker room like, you guys have a ring. You guys have a banner. I don't. And I need this for my career and my legacy. He
reminds them of what it's like to really need and want it. All right, when we come back, Vinny's third question. Welcome back to Oddball. Our guest, Vinny Goodwill, is currently tied with Amin Elhassan 2-2, and it is time for your third question. Vinny, out of all players in the league, age 32 or older, who is averaging the most points per game?
Age 32.
This is tough because you got to know how old guys are.
Old guys are.
That's a hell of an inflection point. Like 32.
I have a hint for you if you want one.
Oh, okay. Wait. Is it Kyrie Irving?
Do you want that to be your final answer? Okay.
Yep. I didn't even give an option of pulling it back.
No, it is not.
Oh. Is it? Can I guess?
Is Kyrie even 32?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is he?
Definitely.
Okay. So 32. All right. So 32 means that if you were 19 years old, which a lot of the guys in the league come in at 19, it would have been 13 draft classes ago. So that would have been 2012. So someone from 2012-ish. I'm
going to cut you off because this is more obvious than either of you thought it was. It's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Just going to save us some time here. He's 36 years old. He's scoring 26.8 points per game, and the Suns are 10-2 when KD plays. Vinny, what do you think the Suns' ceiling is if KD stays healthy?
June.
Yeah. Wow.
Ceiling.
I like that.
Ceiling, like June.
Yes.
Like,
right.
Not saying it's probable or likely, but if he's healthy, Devin Booker, there's no guarantee on Book's health, like, because he's missed time before. And we all know about, Bradley Beal. But I think if KD is healthy and you look at the way this team plays, they play drastically different from last year with just the coaching change and getting a different point guard or getting a point guard.
Right.
A point guard. Their 3-point rate is way up. And even though I'm not a huge fan of everybody taking all these damn threes, like, they should be taking more threes. And because they are, that gives them more variance and more room for error. Yeah, I do think that it is possible. Why did I guess Kyrie Irving? Kevin Durant is sitting right there. Like a bean.
No, because you get tripped up on age, and so you get in your head about it. Kyrie is 32 exactly. So, his birthday is 2 days before mine. So both terrifying Aries. Okay. Amin, your third question. There are 6 players aged 34 or older, averaging over 20 points per game this season. Can you name 4 of them?
Averaging over 20 points a game? Steph Curry.
Okay.
James Harden.
Okay.
Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving. Do you want me to keep going? LeBron James and...
No.
What? You said name 4 of them.
Well, that's on our producers. What would your 4th be?
I named 4.
Oh, well, they're not right.
What?
They're not correct.
So it's not...
The 6 players over 34 who are averaging 20 points per game are Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Damian Lillard, and... I
was getting there.
You're kidding.
I got the first 3.
What is Vucevic's first name?
Nikola.
Thank you. It was right there. I should have guessed. Anything ending with an IC, their first name's probably Nikola. Our NBA career, like, these guys are all 34 or older. Are we just going to see this happening more and more? Is that the obvious answer?
Oh, it's weird, man, because back in the day when I was growing up, like 34 was like a standard age for an NBA player. Like, there was, like a great NBA player, like Patrick Ewing at age 34 and Charles Barkley at age 34. Like that was normal because those guys all came in the league at like 22 years old. Then with the influx of first preps to pros, then one and dones, the league got rapidly younger.
Yeah.
And so it turned into like 34. What are you, a dinosaur to be in the league at 34? And now, because of advancements in medicine and all that, and training and off seasons and all that, we're seeing again like this return of these guys who are 34, but they're like in their 17th season or 15th or 16th seasons and are incredible. Curry, we talked about this. I think I might have talked about this with Vinny.
Yeah.
Like, we like, oh, Curry's amazing. Oh my God, LeBron's killing him. But like the real crazy thing is, Kevin Durant had an injury that we thought was supposed to end his career.
Right.
Like that's no one comes back from that.
Achilles.
No one comes back from that. And if they do, they look very different, very vast departure from where we knew them. And Kevin Durant is so good now, it makes you forget he ruptured his Achilles.
Right. No, it's true. It's remarkable. It's like I always said, Tom Brady just replaced his bones with steel in some lab under Gillette Stadium.
And we're on Chris Paul's CBA too. Don't forget that. That allows older players to get bigger chunks of the salary cap, which incentivizes them to play longer and to stretch their careers out by load management.
Thanks, CP.
Chris Paul's CBA. Yep. All right. Your 4th question, Vinny. How many games did the Wizards win in November?
Oh, 0. They were 0-4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They were 0-14 in the month. The average margin of defeat was 17 points. Only one loss by single digits. It was 9. What would you say about the Wizards at this point, Vinny? What is there to say? Like, how do you fix this? What's happening? Is anybody trying? I have so many questions.
The best thing that happened to the Washington Wizards is that they didn't move to Virginia. Like they were going to move to Virginia. They laid out the plans and everything else. And nobody ever thought to tell them, hey, guys, the name Virginia Wizards doesn't sound too great when you consider this country's history. You might want to chill out and maybe take your ass back to Washington, D.C. That's the biggest win that they've had in the last year. Like, I legit don't know how, they do things. I don't like, it's one of those things where you got the number 2 pick in a year where nobody really wanted it. You got Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole. Like, I think Jordan Poole is a better player than it seems. Like, he's a guy that legit has grown, but he plays on the most unserious franchise of unserious franchises. They haven't won 50 games since I was born. They haven't won 50 games since Michael Jackson put out Off the Wall. Like, maybe even before Off the Wall. Like, this is just a perpetually unserious franchise.
Yes.
The term, the nuclear option is used a lot.
Yeah.
Like to describe, hey, you got to do a full rebuild.
Yeah.
The Wizards are the rare case where I think they actually need a nuclear option, like an actual atom bomb dropped.
Do you remember when there was on Reddit last season, someone said like disaster draft where if like the Nets were in
if your entire team dies in a plane crash,
you have a disaster. They should be able to trigger that without anything horrible happening to people. You're just that bad for that long.
Just nuclear fallout in Chinatown, Washington, D.C., right?
All right, I mean,
mushroom cloud.
Your fourth question. The Spurs have a new nickname for their young duo of Wemby and Stephon Castle. What is it?
That's not a question. What?
It's not? Did I not frame it?
No, I mean, like, yes, it is technically, grammatically a question. I'm saying this is a dumb question.
Okay, I'm going to go to a different question for you. Would you prefer that?
No, because I would just be making it up like that. Let me answer it just so I can make up something funny. But like, this is bullshit. Let me just say that right now. So, Wemby and Stephon Castle. All right, in Phoenix, off the I-17 freeway.
I have a hint if you want it.
Give me the hint.
It's alien related.
All right, that doesn't help me at all. All right, in Phoenix, off the I-17 freeway, there's like one of those little amusement parks. I shouldn't say it. I'm sorry. There's an amusement park, not like a huge theme park.
That's the thing. Of all the things you say, that's the thing that you apologize for?
Because I've been there many a time with my kids, and they like it. So,
all right.
It's called Castles and Coasters, and that's all I could think of. I was like, so I'm going to say Castles and Coaster.
Okay, well, no, but it's not bad. It's Area 51 because Wemby's an alien and Castle wears number 5 and Wemby wears number 1, which is actually a pretty good nickname.
Out of here.
Okay, Vinny, you were fifth question.
You got to think too hard. You got to think too hard on that one. If you got to explain it to me, is it a great nickname?
Yeah, it's not a good nickname.
Area 50. That's true. All right. Well, I stand corrected. Vinny, your fifth question. LaMelo Ball has averaged 40.3 points over his last 4 games, but now he's out for 2 weeks with a calf strain. Without LaMelo in the lineup, who has led the Hornets in points?
Would that be Brandon Miller?
God, I mean, pissed about the alien question.
Yeah, he's getting like regular questions, and I'm getting, what's their nickname? Whoa.
Okay, well, Hank, our producer,
averaging 20. I mean, I would have gotten that one.
They should cut me off. I named 3 names. And I'm like, I named 4 names.
I did not cut you off, first of all, and I have a name. It's Charlotte.
I got
Vinny, our producer Hank wrote a great question as a follow-up in here is, on a scale from Aaron Rodgers on the Jets to that one scene in Oppenheimer, how bright is the Hornets' future? Hank cooked on that one.
That's what I wanted for the Wizards, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I mean, the future might be bright for Aaron Rodgers because he might be in somebody's cabinet. You know what I mean? Like, you never know with him.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Wow.
Ambassador Rodgers.
All right, folks, we're running out of time here. And look, this is a lovely even win for Vinny Goodwill. Vinny, even without, whatever, even without that. Vinny, please come back. We had an absolutely delightful time with you. And look at that sweatshirt with the image of Amin Elhassan's amazing shot.
Viral decontextualization is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. Also, count the dings. gift shop. That's where we sell that thing. So.
Oh my God, you had to think so long for that one. Vinny, thank you, sir.
This was fun. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT.